Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, we are going to be talking about some information that Rockstar released on their newswire today. It was an article that was titled Further Adventures in Finance and Felony, How to Become a Criminal Kingpin. Now, the majority of the article was talking about some various tips and tricks on using some of the new features that came with Further Adventures in Finance and Felony. Most of them are incredibly obvious and would really only help a player that's brand new to the game. But there was some cool parts to it, including a FAQ, or frequently asked questions, that Rockstar did that have revealed some interesting information on their thinking behind some of the things and features and details they added in Finance and Felony. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video, as well as clearing up a few things, and we might as well start with that. So Rockstar's wording on the newswire was kind of confusing. So they said, Further Adventures in Finance and Felony adds a whole new level of gameplay to the world of Grand Theft Auto Online as you buy and sell contraband to expand your empire across Los Santos. This is where it gets tricky. They state this two-part series will dive into the finer points to help you become the ultimate criminal kingpin and unstoppable CEO. So, I have been getting tweets non-stop today about how people are telling me that Further Adventures in Finance and Felony is going to be a two-part series. That is incorrect. What Rockstar is saying by this two-part series is that they're going to have another newswire article talking about similar things on becoming a criminal kingpin and unstoppable CEO. So the title of this one was Become a Criminal Kingpin. So I would imagine the next one will be talking about how to be an unstoppable CEO and the tips and tricks that you can learn from that. That does not mean that this is a two-part DLC. It's a two-part article series that they're writing on their newswire. I know that was kind of confusing, but tons of people have been tweeting me saying, hey, Further Adventures of Finance Felony, two-part series. What do you think of that? It doesn't turn out that that's the case. It's a two-part article series that Rockstar are doing on their newswire. So now let's roll up into the frequently asked questions. These are pretty interesting, and by far the biggest one that Rockstar actually answered was the question, why can't we do buy and sell missions in a private session? So this is something that so many people have talked about. I mean, there has been more demand for solo public sessions in the last 3 or 4 weeks than I've ever seen in the history of Grand Theft Auto Online. And Rockstar had a pretty lengthy response to this answer. And it's pretty, I guess, apparent about what they're trying to do. But I'm going to read it off to you guys anyways. So they responded with, succeeding as a CEO requires navigating the risks and rewards of the ruthless Los Santos free market, where everyone is out to snipe at your latest venture. So buy and sell missions were designed specifically for trade in public sessions. Keep in mind that more players in your session means a bigger bonus for successful sale of special cargo, while associates receive wage increases for completing consecutive buy or sell missions with the same CEO. If you're concerned other players are hanging about your warehouse or office, pick the right time to sell. Make sure you have associates and get them to clear out players who are stalking you or waiting for you to execute a deal. Taking your team off the grid with the ghosting organization ability, and exiting via the rooftop helipad where possible are also solid strategies. So let's talk about that right now. That's kind of the elephant in the room. I get what Rockstar is trying to say here, and I understand that. They want the CEO missions to have risk and reward. I'm totally all about that. But their responses to how you could combat someone who's doing this are a little weak, like using the ghosting organizations or exiting via the rooftop helipad. Do you know how many people are constantly waiting on me to exit via that rooftop helipad, and they've got like a buzzer just swarming around the maze bank? So I don't exactly think that that's a solid strategy. I think that if someone wants to stalk you and kill you, they totally will. And especially when 10 or 11 people doing it, that's when it gets sort of frustrating and sort of difficult. And also, like, asking your associates to just go take out those people, like, what do you think they're going to stop after they're killed one time? So I understand what Rockstar is going for here, that they don't want the CEO missions to just be like total 100% grand slams, you get the money no matter what. But I just feel like there's too much risk in public sessions, and that somehow needs to be mitigated, especially with some of the issues that I've been running into recently with modders and people using content creator glitches to literally destroy the cargo after I buy it, trap me in areas where I can't get out and I can't, do anything anymore. So that's kind of unfortunate that, stuff like that is happening in public sessions, and it's the only way to do the CEO stuff. Now, up next are two things I actually had no clue you could do. So this question was, why can't I start another buy or sell cargo mission? Rockstar explains there's a 5-minute cooldown time for completing a buy cargo mission, and I knew that. I knew that you had to like rotate warehouses in order to do them back to back. What I didn't know that there was a 30-minute cooldown after completing a sell cargo mission in a warehouse. So again, I've never known that because every time I do a sell mission, I pretty much end my live streams. I say, okay, you know, we're done. We sold all the cargo. We made all the money. It's been a great stream. And that's interesting though. But I don't even think it makes sense to do a sell mission that close together. The only way I could see this making sense is if you're selling smaller quantities of stuff from your warehouse. So if you like want to sell a special item, then you want to sell like a larger quantity of the normal goods. So I can see that that might have an impact on you. So keep in mind that if you do want to do multiple sells from a single warehouse, there will be a 30-minute cooldown after completing one of the missions. I had no clue that existed. They also talk about what can you do if an organization member is causing you trouble in game. So CEOs can obviously dismiss any associate they want through the interaction menu. However, because they cannot dismiss during special cargo missions, and if an associate deliberately destroys the special cargo during a sell mission, the CEO has an option to punish the associate by terminating them from the organization and blocking them from being a CEO or associate for 30 minutes. That is actually so cool. So if you are in a public session, you're just looking for associates, and they're a giant troll. They get to the special cargo and they blow up the van. What you can do is punish them and actually stop them from being a CEO or associate for 30 minutes. I'm assuming that's 30 minutes in real life time. So that is hilarious. Rockstar is literally putting the vigilanteism in your hands, and you can ruin someone's next 30 minutes if they happen to be a troll or someone who just wants to ruin your good time. So I love that feature, and I had no clue that existed. No one's actually done that to me because I'm pretty smart by picking the associates I want with good crew members that I trust and friends that I like, but that is so interesting that they added that feature into the game. Now, this is pretty obvious, but there was something in here that I didn't know. Rockstar discusses how other players can disrupt business organizations and operations. So basically, they say like a cargo's location will be sent out to all rival organizations and players. However, what I didn't know is how long that signal takes to come out. So Rockstar states the size of the shipment will affect the delay on this timer. So I'm assuming if you choose between 1, 2, or 3 crates, that's the impact you're going to have on when your timer decides to go off for the lobby. I'm assuming if you do 3 crates, the delay on the timer will be longer. I'm assuming if you do 1 crate, the delay on the timer will be the shortest possible. So that is very interesting. I did not know that, and that's something that I haven't really noticed before. The timer in the bottom right, where it eventually will tell everyone on the map what you're doing and where the special cargo is located. So that's actually something that's pretty cool. If you notice you're having trouble with players in lobbies, maybe you might want to do 1 or 3 versus 1. Just play around with it and see how it works for you. Rockstar also tries to sell us on being an associate because they even state, I want to be a CEO. Why should I become an associate? So they basically states that associates will be paid periodically on a base salary, which is kind of interesting. They didn't touch on the fact that they would be looking into fixing the associate pay, because I do think that it's slightly broken based off of what the CEO makes. But they go on to state that associates will receive benefits such as wage bonuses for consecutive successful cargo missions, increased RP, and health regeneration when inside the radius of the CEO. So again, they didn't touch on anything regarding associates getting more money. They just stated that they've got that periodically based paid salary, which is kind of a bummer because the associates do a lot of work, and I think they deserve to be paid a little bit more money. Now, the last 2 things I want to talk about have to do with Rockstar clarifying some stuff about selling special cargo. The first one is raids on your warehouse. So Rockstar state, maximize your special cargo value by timing the sale of your inventory. Stockpiling cargo can result in interest from wealthier buyers. However, warehouses stocked with valuable cargo won't stay a secret for long. Beware of attacks from resident gangs of Los Santos attempting to steal a slice of your pie. So I'm assuming this is Rockstar talking about NPC raids, and I think what they were trying to say here is that raids won't occur unless a warehouse is fully stocked. Because I've been doing the CEO missions for like 25, 30, maybe even 40 or 50 hours now, and I have not been raided once. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, or if, they just haven't come after me. But I've also never had a full warehouse, and that's what I think has to happen in order to get raided. And they also talk about what's the best way to fill up a warehouse. They state slowly filling up a large warehouse one crate at a time is the most profitable method, as your initial outlay is lower, but it's not the most time efficient. Buying large shipments will fill your warehouse 3 times faster, but at a higher cost. So you need to make the executive decision based on whichever method suits your leadership. Also of note, the more players in session, the higher the risk, but the greater the delivery bonus will be when selling your goods. That's something I've touched on in previous videos. The CEO bonus you get, or the high demand bonus you get, that's actually pretty effective. And that's something I've touched on in the past before, that if you want to make more money out of the warehouses, buy one crate at a time. But man, that is going to take a long time, because a large warehouse is 111 crates. So do you really want to do 111 buy missions? Or do you want to do a third of that and get it done 3 times as fast? That's ultimately the decision you're going to have to make. But anyways, that's all the information that I'm going to be talking about for you guys in this video today. I'll leave the newswire in the description if you want to check it out for yourself and read some of the more interesting things that Rockstar had to state on the newswire. Again, some of them are obvious, but still, some of them are pretty cool about what they talked about. If you did go on to enjoy this video, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.